Okay, ladies and gentlemen, let's talk today about ethics. Ethics is a two-way street. You see, it's your job to stay in your lane, but you can also expect that others will stay in theirs. The purpose of our presentation today is to guide educational practice, set expectations for educators, and inspire professional excellence in relation to state, federal, local regulations, as well as collective bargaining agreements. The responsibilities that we have as educators to students are to embody the standards for school support personnel, professional teaching standards, administrative endorsements, as they apply to our learning environment. Number two, we need to respect the inherent dignity and worth of each student by assuming that the learning environment is characterized by respect, equal opportunity for each student, regardless of race, color, national origin, sex, sexual orientation, disability, religion, language, or socioeconomic status. Maintain a professional relationship with all students at all times. Number four, provide a curriculum based on high expectations for each student that addresses individual differences through the design, implementation, and adaptation of effective instruction. Finally, let's foster each student in the development of attributes that will enhance their skills and knowledge necessary to be contributing members of our society. The responsibility to self includes the responsibility and accountability for performance and to continually strive to demonstrate proficiency and understanding of current content and good teaching practices. Number two, we need to develop and implement personal and professional goals with attention to professional standards and a process of self-assessment and reevaluation. We also need to represent professional credentials and qualifications accurately while demonstrating the highest level of professional judgment. The responsibility to our colleagues and to the profession include collaborating with colleagues in our respective schools, districts, and our state and local educational standards. We also need to work together to create a respectful, professional, and supportive school climate that allows other educators to maintain their individual professional integrity. We need to seek out and engage in activities that contribute to ongoing development of the profession, as well as promoting participation in educational decision-making processes. We also need to encourage promising young educators and people that are trying to enter the profession through a variety of means. The responsibility to parents, families, and communities includes aspiring to understand and respect the values and the cultures and traditions that are part of our learning community. We also want to encourage and educate for equal education opportunities for every single student. We want to develop and maintain professional relationships with parents, families, and our communities. We also need to make sure that we're promoting collaboration and support for student learning through regular, meaningful communication with parents, families, and the community. We also need to cooperate with the community agencies that affect our learning environment. We have a responsibility as well to the State Board of Education to provide accurate communication to make sure that we have appropriate paperwork and that we're maintaining all of the required licenses and pieces of licensure applicable for our job. We're also afforded some protections by acting ethically. Among those protections is free speech. Now, as educators, state employees, and people that work with children, we also need to be aware that there may be some abridgments of our own personal free speech based on our role in the community and in the education system. But we still have the right to due process. We also have the right to union representation. There's also protections afforded to us through the Labor Relations Board and the requirements and policies set therein. We also have a number of tenure laws, and those tenure laws apply in this educational setting. We also have more broad protections from discrimination because of the various discrimination statutes. We have a collective bargaining agreement that includes protections as well. The school board policies and handbooks are also there to be a common item that we can all depend on and go to when we have questions, and we need protections therein. Teacher evaluation procedures are in place to help protect teachers through the evaluation cycle. There are also teachers that have rights to honorable dismissal or reductions in force protections. There's also the Family Medical Leave Act that can protect us in times of most need. There are also indemnifications that are specific to educators, such as hold harmless laws or policies that the state and the district must provide. We also have an elevated standard of proof protections because, again, we work with children, but that gives us a special protection under the law. Finally, there's also workers' compensation for if we're injured on the job. These are protections that come as part of that two-way street, because while we're acting ethically, we can reasonably expect ethical treatment as well. So make sure that as an educator in your classroom, we're doing the best for kids and that we're acting in the most ethical way possible. So in the end, we can also enjoy the protections of being an ethical educator.